round of the UCI Cross Country World Cup, the 250th running of this competition, and it is in a brand new venue, Crans-Montana, in the Valais canton in Switzerland. And there is one race left to go this afternoon, the Elite Men's Cross Country Olympic, from what, let's face it, has been a very wet Crans-Montana all week long. But fear not, the clouds have kind of parted, he says cautiously, and we are being treated to some of, well, pretty much the best conditions we've had this week. Trust me, there are some incredible mountain peaks hidden in those clouds. There's the lake in the centre of the town. 12 degrees Celsius out there at the minute. Does feel a bit cooler with a breeze currently moving through the valley, but crucially not the wet race it threatened to be earlier on today. Skalinski warming up with that man, Henrik Avancini. One man making a big name for himself this season, Matisse Azzaro, for the Decathlon Ford. We caught up with him earlier in the week.
Welcome to Val de Soleil for the 4th round of the XCO race. Who's going to get the whole shot? And they're off.
Filippo Colombo with Matisse Azzaro, who's leading that chasing group. Matisse Azzaro, it's him who is chasing hard and close the gap over here.
Starting again from the back, 48 number, so I managed to take a good start. And then, yeah, I was catching the front guys and good position all the race. And when I saw I was able to be on the podium on the last lap, I gave everything to close the little gap on Filippo and Luca. And then the sprint finish until the finish line was quite hard, but I'm super happy with the podium.
Here we go, the fight for third, this group of 3. They've been scrapping all race. Here comes Azzaro out the slipstream. Colombo.
Matisse Azzaro.
Frido kind of come through, but it's
Azzaro.
Azzaro. Frido, Colombo.
Armin was my second podium in a row, so for sure I am happy with my race. So I did well in Nove Mesto and I did same in Val di Sole. I was just sitting on my bike, doing my efforts, and then catching riders where it was possible. And yeah, I was maybe in the first lap I was already in the top 10, so after I was okay to be in the front of the race. I saw the replay and Nino was already full gas in the first lap. He wanted to be in a little group. So yeah, the pace is really high from the start until the end. I did my own pace and was okay with the group where I was. For my second year as an elite, is a second podium on the top 3. But I am proud of me. Yeah, for sure the weather will make the difference. Already in the dry condition was to have to be really focused on every technical part, because yeah, it's sketchy for the material. You have to keep the air in the tires to don't break the wheels, to stay on the bike. So it's really demanding on the technical section. You have to be really focused. And for sure, if it's wet condition with the rain, gonna be level higher. And the most technical rider will be in the front. So I like this condition, so let's see the weather on the weekend.
Matisse Azzaro then, he'll start this race from 14th on the grid. Definitely a young man starting to make a real name for himself. Mixing it with some of the very biggest names out there. Let's find out who the rest of them are we're going to be talking about today. Nino Schurter, 36 wins after that last one in Val di Sole Trentino in cross-country Olympic. If the GOAT's here, he's worth a flutter. Tom Pidcock, victorious in the short track yesterday. Busy summer ahead for that man. Jordan Sarrou, part of the hotly tipped Team France team, going to Paris 2024. Marcel Guerini, one of two fast Swissmen with a point to prove at his home race. Third in Nove Mesto Namarave. We just heard from him, Matisse Azaro, Decathlon Ford Racing Team, stepping up to the plate manfully in the absence of Joshua Dubois due to injury. Can he go a couple of spots better today? Riders on the rollers, getting the legs turned on, getting the heart rate raised. Let's hear now from one of the most complete teams in the business, racing at their home race in Switzerland. Scott Schramm, MTB Racing Team.
It's my life, it's my passion. It's really, yeah, I dedicated 34 years now to this sport. Yeah, I had a wonderful career as an athlete, winning the silver medal at the Olympic Games, and behind Nino Schurter and Julie Absalon, I'm still number 3 in the numbers of World Cup wins. When I met Nino Schurter the first time, it was in a training camp, the very first training camp at the age of 17. On the first ride, I really tested him to the limit, and I couldn't get rid of him. And from that moment on, I knew this guy is special.
Yeah, it always feels great to be at the top. Doesn't matter when.
The way that Nino Schurter raced in Val di Sole impressed me a lot again.
It's a course that suits me quite well. It's technically, but also physically, and I like this combination, and I think that makes me there quite strong. It's nice to have now Filippo as a strong teammate. It's so cool we can race together.
For the team itself, for the staff behind, it shows really how well we work together, and how everyone works in the same direction towards the same goal. And yeah, this really shows our strength, I would say.
For us, Filippo not going to the Olympic Games is an absolute disaster.
Yeah, for sure, was quite a big hit, and yeah, that was kind of hard to first understand and accept. And yeah, for sure some difficult moment just after Nove Mesto.
See, it absolutely destroyed him, this non-selection. He was like, even after Val di Sole, finished 5th, and he didn't talk for 5 minutes. He was just kind of crying and swearing because he still thinks he should be going to Paris.
There is one and down there.
Well, I'm very grateful to have my son Henri Frischknecht on my team as well. He started as a junior.
I'm in this team not having fun just on the weekend, so I'm here to perform. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give my all, everything I have in the tank. And I prepared really well for this part of the season now, so I hope it's paying off.
It's not always easy to be father, team manager and mentor at the same time, you know, that brings up quite some difficulties, but being on the team now for 17 years, he definitely is a strong pillar in this team.
Scott Schramm, MTB Racing Team. led by the Swiss cycling legend Thomas Frischneck. Schurter, Colombo, Kate Courtney, we just saw her in action in the elite women's race. Andrei Frischneck in there as well. His points in Val di Sole Trentino helped the team move into second place in the team's overall title race. One of the most complete squads out there. Luca Braido, Italian national champion. Just coming back into form now, you feel, Braido. Will be a danger man today. Let's check out the track here in Crans-Montana. Picking up where Arashah round 2 left off in pushing the technical boundaries of cross-country racing. Track here in Crans-Montana goes up the big asphalt, starts straight, then up into the tree line where every metre is a battle. Carpet of roots absolutely everywhere. A lot of pockets of moisture remaining from all the rain earlier in the week. Crans-Montana waterfall section, an A-line and what we're calling the minus A-line as a B-line, and then a big long start-finish sprint. We have seen a couple of sprint finishes throughout the weekend. We are at an altitude maximum 1,585 vertical meters. It's getting busy down there. Well, if you need your weekly dose of big Australian energy, we sent the man himself out there to check out one of the most talked about courses in cross-country racing. Here is Carlson on course.
Well, here we are, brand new venue in Crans-Montana, Switzerland. Brand new purpose-built course, plenty of technical sections, a lot of physical and loamy climbing. Let's go and get amongst it right now. So straight from our start loop, have a sharp little turn and continue the climb by this stage. As you crest the top of this climb, we come into one of our key features and brand new features here on Crans-Montana. A major tech piece here, and something we've never seen before is this log garden. You've got 2 different lines that drop into this man-made log garden. These are all logs that have been sheared off. The end grain, which means it's quite grippy, you have to land, slow down, and then change direction over all these corners here after a really, really steep part of the climb. This is on the first half of the track. Riders have an A-line, a B-line, and a C-line to choose from. Now, when you land on all these sawn-off end grain logs, so there is a little bit of grip, but with the rain and the mud getting dragged across it, it's going to get slipperier and slipperier. A lot to factor in here, and this is one section here where it will not win you the race, but if you do make a mistake, it'll definitely lose you the race. So right here at the top, just punch a little bit. Suspension unlocked, seat down. Second main man-made feature here on this course is this rock garden. So we went from the log garden now to the rock garden. There's 3 lines in here and there is so much going on. It's a blind drop from the top. It's about 5 to 6 feet to backside that rock, and then once you're in all the way to the corner down here. You must be committed, you must be prepared for the landing, and it's at the top of another really steep and technical climb here. Get off the brakes and relax, which is much easier said than done. There's so many technical bits here. This big inside line, oh, it is wild in the wet. We're gonna take it on. Gonna go this cheeky inside here. Wowzers! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! One of the steepest and deepest bits here as Semigaze navigates his way down, slipping and sliding, is this section. You've got to jump over this creek, land on the brakes, turn, descend, hit the pocket at the bottom and accelerate out. This is a really, really gnarly section and one of the steepest sections we've seen on our XCO courses so far in 2024. Right now it's dry, it's all happy days. If the clouds do start falling with rain, oh, this section is going to be so hectic. Wow, well that is a technical and spicy little number here on Crans-Montana. It's going to be very weather dependent and those steep sections are going to be a huge factor in this round's race. Cannot wait to see the racing. We'll see you trackside.
Never has so little suspension been asked to cope with so much Josh Carlson, fair play to him, getting it done out there, even with the shades off. Wheelie, not a bad move if you've got it. Scott Schramm riders getting ready, knee warmers coming off. Here is Julian Shelb, though, one of the breakthrough acts from the short track, and a man with a serious story to tell.
Julian, an exceptional short track, starting on the front row today. They must fill you with confidence.
Yeah, I'm really confident in my shape, and I really like the track. So starting from the first row in these difficult conditions helps me really a lot for the upcoming races.
It's a very important race here today for yourself. What do you need to focus on? Just keep patient or just be in the right position?
Yeah, for us Germans, it's about Olympic Games still, the last race. And I'm full focus to give it all. Doesn't matter how I blow up, or I just give it all and try my best.
That's very exciting. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Julian Shelb still has hopes of going to Paris 2024. Riders starting to form up. There's Tom Pidcock, getting ready to go once again for the Ineos Grenadiers. 6 cross-country Olympic UCI World Cup wins to his name. Let's hear from his compatriot, though. Charlie Aldridge is down there with Josh now.
Charlie Aldridge, big threat today. Always someone we are excited to watch. What's the main thing you have to focus on a very technical course?
Staying on your bike, I reckon. Just trying to be smooth, I think. The climbs are tricky, the descents are tricky. And if you try too hard, you're going to make a mistake. So I'll probably make a few mistakes. I think everyone's going to make mistakes today, but just trying to be smooth, I think.
Is there a focus in mind, like a position, or are you just going to go for it and see where you end up and all guts, all glory?
Pretty much that, yeah. The usual. I mean, I'm at nearer the front today, so it should be easier to be in the mix. And then I think the big pinch point will be going into the climb on the first full lap. So I'll try and be in a good position there, and then just see how it goes.
Go well today, mate. Good luck.
Thank you.
Charlie Aldridge, cool, calm and collected as ever. Cantondale factory racing rider missing UCI World Cup winner Simon Andreasen due to injury today, but Haverly and Aldridge will fly the flag. Riders forming up now. It's getting serious. Well, serious times calls for serious men. Let's hear from Tom Pidcock now, after that short track success yesterday.
Tom, great start to the weekend, incredible performance. Is it the same today, or have you got to pay a bit more attention to this course?
Well, I think you had to pay quite a lot of attention to yesterday's course for a short track course. So, I think as we saw in the women's race, I think the start's really important. So, yeah, we'll try and get that right today, and then I guess we'll go from there. I think it's when it's conditions like this, it's a bit unknown. I don't know if people have ridden the course or not, but I haven't today. So, the first lap's always a bit blind, and it's about being consistent and getting in your own rhythm.
And it's not right in the course. Do you think that's helpful because you're somewhat fresh and you can attack it? You don't have any preconceived ideas?
No, it's because I don't put any good practice times. That's why.
What have you changed to your bike setup today? A lot of talk about mud tyres and running spikes.
Yeah, I haven't got spikes because they're kind of annoying in my shoes. So, and also I plan on trying not to run. Tyres is a bit of a difficult one. I'm banking on it being, drying up a bit and getting a bit more cloggy and not, loose the mud, I guess.
Good luck today, mate. Go hard.
Thank you.
Tom Pidcock. Any more prickly and you'd have to put him in your hold bag. Great interview though from Josh Carlson down there. Pidcock getting ready to give absolutely everything. Plan to stay on the bike as much as possible. There's Matthias Flukiger. A lot of chat around that man. Skipped the short track yesterday is off the Olympics with the Swiss team. Plenty of chat around that online, social media, the build-up to this one. But he's here today, and these conditions and this track may just suit Matthias Flückiger very, very nicely. His teammate Alessandra Keller went well in the elite women's race. Martin Vidari getting the game face on as we get ready to get the 8 fastest riders onto the front row of the grid. Marcel Guerini, a big man with a big point to prove. Home race for Guerini today, as if he needed any more motivation. Likewise, this man, Filippo Colombo, we heard from him earlier in the week. Scott SRAM, MTB Racing. He played it down. His teammate, Thomas Frischnecht, said that it was a disaster that he wasn't going to the Olympics. Here's his teammate, the greatest of all time. 36 wins to this man's name, going for his 10th overall title. Nino Schurter. What a short track race Max Brandl had. Lex Ware. Always go well in the European rounds. Christopher Blevins. He's missing his wingman Koretsky today. Out with a rib injury. What can the US national champion do this afternoon? This man loves a long-range attack. Luca Braido. Look for him to be right in amongst it in the early exchanges in this one. Julian Schell. Fairy tale stuff in the short track. Second for the German. Tom Pidcock heads to the line for the Ineos Grenadiers. Says he doesn't intend on running too far today. A little bit of a panicked conversation there with the team staff. Pidcock, Schell, Braido, Blevins, Brandl, Schurter, Colombo, Guerini, the front row. Then it's to Foimont, Aldridge. Watch for him coming through. Plenty of horsepower for the big Scotsman. There's Forster, Schwarzbauer, Rum, Azaro's up there in 14th, Vidari, Kalelistap, Litcher, Braido, Galinski, Haverly. Saru buried back in the pack. Then it's Albin, Zanotti, Rott, Matthias Flückiger, equally buried. Alongside Gaze. Will that knee sort itself out today? Give the big Kiwi a chance to fly here in Crans-Montana. Pidcock looks ready to go. And they are almost ready to go racing here at the 5th round of the UCI Cross Country World Cup in Crans-Montana, Valais, Switzerland. Sunday's big race gets ready to go. They're under red lights. And they go green. And right off the line, Guerini gets away well, as does Braido, as does Colombo on the left-hand side. Matis Azaro working his way up on the right-hand side opposite. Guerini swings left round the hairpin, and it is chaos behind him. Thomas Litcher getting caught up in that pile-up as they turn left and head up the hill then. Big, long asphalt straight to get things going. What a start from Alan Hafferley. in the middle of your screen in the Cannondale jersey and the number 3 bike. Charlie Aldridge, his teammate on the 21 alongside him in the British National Champs jersey. Joining me in the booth for this one, Ollie Beckinsale. Ollie, plenty of firepower at the front of this one straight away.
It's going to be tense, this start loop. We've got start loop and then 7 laps. And I think it's going to be a big fight into this first technical section.
Trying to find Pidcock, there he is. Pidcock has been shuffled back at the start.
But it didn't cause him a problem yesterday in the short track, so...
No, it did not. Tom Pidcock, superb in the short track yesterday with the win.
I just came up from the start of the call-up area and the Scott Schramm guys, Colombo and Schurter. Oh, serious looking. They're on a mission today, those boys.
Oh, and it is a broken chain for Mondraker, Prima Floors, Andre Singh.
That's a long run to the tech area.
Yeah, he's got to go all the way to the tech area.
You see, just on this start loop, which is the same as the short track course, so the asphalt climb about a minute and a half long. Then we drop into the woods, and then 2 chutes in the roots and rolls, section.
Yeah, Josh Carlson reported in. Thomas Litcher, massive crash as we saw on that pylon. Left that first left-hander stone last. So can we see him get back through the ranks? As they head in through the forest. The start loop here. Here we go. This could be chaos. The Red Bull roots and rolls. Colombo and Schurter. Scott Schramm out front. Then it's Haverly and Aldridge of Cannondale Factory Racing. Then it's Shell. Then Guarini. Then Azaro.
Ryder just taking the outside line. A little faster on the way down, but then it's slippery at the bottom.
There's Pidcock through your picture now as well for the Ineos Grenadiers. So it's recovered after a slightly slower start, but as we have seen in the past starts, really count the same for Tom Pidcock the way they do for other riders.
These 2 out front though. So it's in the warm-up, definitely. You've just seen that a little bit more focused, a bit more on edge than the other riders in that top 8. You know, they were going to try and start fast. I think, you know, he's done this before. He'll just put the pressure on. He knows that Pidcock hasn't made that front group, and it just means he can put a bit of pressure on the Brit.
So Schurter leads him across the line at the end of the first start loop then.
11:17, decent start. Short track, American or Specialized. Got this long road climb up now. This time, instead of dropping into the woods, they go onto the lap proper. Big long climb up to the start, and then we start the first of the technical section. But it's on the kind of more natural stuff, which is going to be difficult. We see Aldridge just on the outside.
Aldridge taking the lead as they swing left in on the track proper for the first time. Oh, Guarini's getting bobbled. Here we go with this section. Still a lot of moisture on it. Very, very little grip out there where the track's at its wettest. It has absolutely hammered rain all week long here in Valais. It's holding off for the time being. And things are looking up, and they're especially looking up in the commentary booth. We're joined by the original Olympic champion, Bart Brenchens. Big one.
Yeah, big
pressure out there.
A big day for the Swiss riders, especially here in Trans-Montana. And yeah, there are plenty of them who can do well here. Nino, of course, but Filippo Colombo as well. And that's what you see here in the race.
You see Pidcock on the move as well, just sliding up to 6th place now.
But Julian Schell, what an amazing weekend he has already. And 2nd place now, after his 2nd place in the short track from yesterday.
And there's Matthias Flukiger through our screen now in 13th place. The 11th place correction. But we are missing the overall points leader, Victor Koretsky. For the riders chasing him in the overall, there's extra points available today.
So we will see a new leader after this race, leaving Crans-Montana. And I guess Nino is in a good way for that.
162 beats per minute for Charlie Aldridge. As he just gets knocked into that course marking tape slightly. The search for grip up this section, so tough.
Yeah, it might be the cause it's trying a little bit, but still this climb here, it's so slippery, so difficult to make it on your bike.
Oh, Pidcock stumbles, knocks into Azaro.
The amazing thing is, we didn't think on lap 1 on the climb that we'd be saying that Aldridge would be leading Schleb.
Matthias Flückiger in the red skid over there. Oh, this champion.
Bar going bar to bar with Tom Pidcock on the way out of that right-hander.
John Carew, BMC having a good ride. Another rider struggling with.
Yeah, and for the German riders, this weekend is the last chance to qualify for the Olympic Games.
We've got 3 of them in the top 6 currently. Schelb in 2nd, then Brandl in 5th, Schwarzbar in 6th.
That's crazy how these things work.
And Schleb takes the lead from Aldridge now. And
we have never seen that before.
No. What a story.
Julian Schelb leading in the World Cup.
Julian Schelb genuinely almost lost his life at the Cape Epic 2017 with heat exhaustion and was touch and go for a long time. But many people thought he'd never get back to this.
On a young age, Julian Schelb was one of the most talented German riders. Thomas Schedewy, he has been the trainer also for the T-Mobile team where I was riding. And he always told me, Julian Schelb, he's the most talented rider. But it took him a time.
Here we go. There's the start. You can see Tom Pidcock just getting swallowed up slightly in the centre of it. And then there's a crash at the back. If you just watch top left of your screen now, you can see.
Yeah, Thomas Lichter, he was involved with that. He was one of the riders, the last riders who left this start.
I assume that message of Carlson's referred to the coming together at the left-hander, but look at the gap. Schelb was opened up at the front.
It was amazing. The European Championships in Romania, that was in very wet, muddy condition. Schelb was a medalist. And also
second place.
Yeah, and Brandl as well, who's only in 5th. He was also up there as well till he had a flat tyre. They were amazing in those conditions.
Flückiger's just gone past Garini. That wouldn't have gone down well.
Also for these riders, it's Mathis Azor with Jordan Seroux struggling here in that descent.
Pierre de Foimont's in there as well.
All these riders a foot out to balance, to find the right balance. With Julian Schelb, he's going fast.
Here's
Timberwood section right now. He's taking the A-line. He has to manage it precisely, and that's what he does.
In for the Timber Garden section.
Not too fast. Because it's slippery.
Very, very slippery in there.
One of the riders taking that C-line over there. It's Charlie Aldridge taking the C-line here. Already 2nd place. Then we have Nino, and then we have Charlie Aldridge. Here he is. Charlie Aldridge.
And Hathaway, a good start. Brandl, Flückiger, Garini, Schwarzbauer.
Yeah, if you're taking that A-line in that Timberwood section, you have to precise your speed. Pidcock, 2nd place. Then we have Nino Schurter.
Look at the roots coming out in the middle of this left-hander.
A little bit of different line for Charlie Aldridge, a little bit wider. Then we have his teammate Alan Hatterley from South Africa.
And it's funny, the course is changing just slightly from the women. Some sections are getting easier to ride, slightly smoother. But other sections, the routes are coming through now as more and more riders are riding.
Getting even more difficult.
Our stats expert, Martin Whiteley, has been on. Here's a quiz question for you, Bart. The last time a German man won an elite XCO World Cup?
Oh, that's a good question. Manuel Fumik never won a World Cup.
No.
I think Lado also never won a World Cup. Mike Kluge.
It was Kluge.
It was Kluge,
1993.
Wow.
Mike Kluge.
31 years ago. I mean, I could be harsh and take your first answer, but I'll give you that one. That's fine.
No, I didn't answer that. I was managing that. He didn't win.
Mike Kluge.
Mike Kluge. Oh, on Focus.
Great mountain bike man, went on to be involved with Focus, yeah. Out in front of this one, it is Schelb and Tom Pidcock, though.
Julian Schelb and Tom Pidcock leading this race.
A couple of seconds behind them, Nino Schurter.
Sure, it needs to go with this one now.
So much respect between Tom Pidcock and Nino Schurter.
Then we have Maximilian Brandl, the German champion, living in the Freiburg area from the Lexweer team.
For this section, of course, this long climb up to the rock garden. It's just, this is the bit that's getting a little faster now. It's just drying out. It gets a bit of sun on this section. The bike's just rolling a little bit quicker, but we see mud tyres on the bikes in the start line, but not the kind of real spiky mud tyres, more of a intermediate mud.
Then also, I mean, the riders are not covered in mud at all. I mean, it's just a very muddy, sticky ground.
You can see just...
But Scheld is looking strong.
Yeah.
It's like grinding paste up the top of that climb. Mud getting really thick now.
The riders now at the top of that second big climb. They drop into this little gap jump. They do a loop round, and then it's this climb up to the first time we see him going to run through the rock garden.
Matthias Flückiger.
Flückiger going well. Colombo getting buried in the pack slightly now. Colombo back in 10th. Flückiger up in 5th. That is a statement off in 10th from Matthias Flückiger. He's here to prove a point today.
Flückiger under pressure. Haven't had a great World Cup season so far, and home race. And it's good, but he is, like you say, good conditions for him. He's always done so well. When it gets a little muddy and slippery, he's very good in the tech.
Got that win in Pala and Salandora last time out in the rain, but here we go in the A-line in this big man-made rock section. Scheld rails round the corner.
Yeah, on a high speed, these riders.
But Pidcock is in front now.
The cool thing about these guys riding the A-line is it pushes them higher up on the rocks, and they miss all that rough to the bottom.
Here we go, here's the overtake then. Pidcock
taking a more difficult inside line.
Just gets his bike straight across the front of Scheld. Scheld shakes the head, but
not happy with that move.
Oh, here we go. A-line. Going AA.
The waterfall.
Into the waterfall section. Tom Pidcock now. Whoa! First time, he said he hasn't ridden the track today, so that's his first time down it on the first lap of the race.
The B-line is faster.
Scheld down what we were calling the A- line.
It's faster.
A lot faster out of that one. So that'll be a learning exercise for Tom Pidcock.
So next time also Tom Pidcock will take that the A- line. Yeah, sometimes it's like that.
Yeah, joking aside, it is technically the B line, that other one that Scheld just rode, but whenever you see the other camera angle on it, it looks anything but a B line. Super steep, down through a really loose set of turns, but I think it just gives you a faster exit than the A line.
Yeah, I mean, on the bottom of the line we saw Pidcock ride, it hasn't got a real kind of big berm at the bottom, so you just have to manage your speed a little bit, and then, like I said, the exit speed coming out of there just is a little bit slower.
Yeah, Carlson reporting in. Gunnar Holmgren, Maxi Marot, both covered in mud. Big crash on the start loop, apparently.
Oh, whoa!
Pidcock goes down in the tack zone where we saw.
Yeah, mud on the tires and entering the asphalt. It's always dangerous. We have seen that before. And he went down over there.
We saw Valentina Corvi go down there in the under-23 women's race earlier.
Shaking his head from what did I do?
Luckily, not on the dry side, so if you fall the other side, the risk is you can break the derailleur. But
yeah, it's true.
Brandl gets past Tom Pidcock, and now he's right back into the clutches of Nino Schurter. Meanwhile, out front, Scheld is by himself with a bit of clear air to work in.
Yeah, two German in the lead here. Maximilian Brandl, second place, Pidcock, and then we have Nino. There's Flückiger, here he comes. Finally, we see him in front of the race this year. 5th place.
Great descender to watch Flückiger, the way he uses his hips.
These conditions are perfect for him.
Yeah.
He loves to ride in the mud, in the slippery conditions. Is he able to come back to that group of 3?
And that mud skill is slightly different. You know, the big rocks and jumps is one thing, but it's that little like finesse and moving the hips around the body, positions on the descents, but also the climbs to remain traction as well.
Look at Flückiger here. Has his hands in closer to the stem and is riding his way back onto this chase group.
And it's Judith Scheld who's leading. I'm wondering what Maximilian Brandl actually is thinking and doing. Is he doing some work or
here
not working at all?
The number 13 bike of Matthias Flückiger in the red jersey rides its way back onto the front chase group.
Another German rider on the here, Lukas Schwarzbauer, he's on 6th place.
Garini's in 8th now. There's another Swiss rider.
But if it comes down to the qualifications for the Olympic Games for Germany, a hard one. Julien Schall bleeding.
On this climb now, pick on his element, out the saddle. Pushing on really, really hard now.
Pidcock driving the train of riders up that climb. Flückiger's back with them.
Yep.
Great start for Flückiger, given that he was really buried on the start grid and there's so much chaos and crashes around him.
Yeah, 25th, having missed that short track. A bit lower that down the grid, and it's a bit of a handicap, but he's recovering really quickly from that one.
Yeah, I think he will ride himself more into this race. Especially that first lap with that 4th row start. It's always a bit more difficult to get through it, but he already is. 5th place, yes, with Maximilian Brandl in front of him.
Yep. Gregor Ragel from JB Bruneck Superior's beat in with a flat tyre, apparently slow change. So his day not going as he would have hoped.
All the riders just going on this left-hand line.
Now Pidcock and also Nino made on their bike.
And Schleb just had to dismount and jump back on it, enable Pidcock just to close the gap. And it's front group of 5 now, all just coming back together.
Lukas Schwarzbauer pushing hard to come back to the leading group. He's on 6th place. So 3 German riders in the top 6. Pidcock and Nino Schurter now leading the race.
And it's for Julien Schleb just to hang on now.
Flückiger just having to have a dab there and unclip his right foot.
Yep, cost him a second. Off the bike, these riders. Nino not, still on his bike.
And Nino, the first person to be able to see that's ridden that section all day.
Hey, he made it.
Yep.
Nino Schurter collected his 36th win in Val di Sole Trentino at the last round.
You just see if on this course you can gain and lose little 2 seconds here or there. You can ride a section, you can dismount.
Just back wheel spins out from underneath, and we saw that happen to Alessandra Keller in the elite women's race as well.
Matthias Flückiger makes it over that wood over there.
Schleb doing well as well, getting onto that right side, finding a bit of green grass.
And does the same to Tom Pidcock, what Pidcock did to him.
Yeah, he just chops that front wheel. You see the riders today as well. I think when you're in a group, you definitely almost trip each other up. You make a mistake and the next rider causes issues. I think there's something to be said of just being able to get into your own rhythm and riding on your own.
Yeah, constantly positions changing in this leading group. All these riders have different lines to ride. Pidcock back on his bike, very smooth how he did that. Overtaking Matthias Flückiger immediately, looks like.
Yeah, Flückiger and Pidcock, old sparring partners from Mont Saint Anne last season in the rain. Flückiger really denied a win there. Pidcock round the outside of Nino Schurter. You don't get to say that every day.
But it's the speed that Pidcock's got on these climbs at the moment. So much punch in the legs.
Yeah. Real that punch what he has.
Yeah, Flückiger
everywhere.
Flückiger in that mud race in Canada, I think it was 2 or 3 punctures he ended up suffering, and it really robbed us of a bar-to-bar battle in the last lap with Tom Pidcock.
You see Pidcock then got the gap into the descent, but on the next section just on and off the bike so quick. You know, previous cyclocross world champion as well. Unbelievable CV.
Yeah, you see some lines over there in the mud where the riders can get through it.
Yeah, you can just see the front 4 begin to distance themselves now slightly from Max Brandl, who's 12 seconds off the lead. And at the head of the chase, there they are. Flückiger off the bike in the red. Pidcock over. Carries some speed into the bottom.
That's so difficult, very steep, and that big route is right at 45 degrees, and the only way you can do it is as you're coming in, big hop over. Really, really difficult section to clean, but all those front 4 absolutely nailing it.
You can see as well some of those routes out there starting to turn white, which, if you've ever ridden mountain bikes, you know is the last thing on earth you want to see is a big shiny white route.
Yeah, that's more slippery.
Those are the ones that smell like hospital food. But out the front, Tom Pidcock.
Yeah, he's pushing hard now. It's kind of an attack.
Senses.
6 seconds.
Senses that maybe now is the time. Down through the timber garden.
very slippery, that timber garden.
You can see the whole bike just moving around.
Yeah, riders will have to be careful over there.
Oh, just so through there.
She reached out actually as well.
Yeah, pretty wild.
And who do we miss? Lucas Schwarzbauer? Oh, Maximilian Brandl is overtaken by Lucas Schwarzbauer.
And Schwarzbauer coming back towards the front of this one.
3 Germans in the front, 6.
Yeah, Marcel Guerini, here he is in the green jersey.
So 3 Germans, 3 Swiss in that top 10.
The French rider.
167, 170 beats per minute now for Sarrou, down 21st, so not going the French champs' way today.
We have Lars Forster behind Jordan Sarrou, another Swiss rider.
Yes, Guerini hanging the leg off.
Yeah, we know.
Flicks the glasses.
Guerini always strong when it comes down to the last bit of the race.
Say one thing we've learned there is Marcel Guerini doesn't buy his own sunglasses. Sarrou behind him though, with Forster in close contention. That gives you an idea of how tough conditions are today whenever you've got the 3 of those riders.
Sarrou looking really comfortable in that turn in the muddy conditions. More comfortable than Guerini in front of him. And I think Sarrou, he had a poor short track by his standards, but one of those riders similar to Alessandro Keller that just keeps fighting, whether it's having a good day or a bad day, you're always going to get a great performance from him. And so consistent.
Correction for me, Sarrou's in 8th currently, Lars Forster in 9th, Guerini 7th.
Yeah, Luca Braido and also Geoffrey Culel, Spanish rider. He's in 11th place. Strong ride for him today.
Bike getting stood up in between the roots there. Flukiger now taking the fight to Nino Schurter. Knows that if anybody's going to catch Tom Pidcock, they need to start doing it quickly.
Right. The battle in between Nino Schurter and Matthias Flukiger.
Talking to the Swiss, one rider not having a great first lap. Filippo Colombo now just drifted back to 20th position.
Here he goes, Flukiger past Schurter. No love lost between those two. And Matthias Flukiger is answering his online critics here today.
Yeah, he didn't do the short track yesterday to save some energy. It looks like it works for him today. He's so far.
Yeah, like I said, missing the short track gives him that bit of a handicap on the start, but on this circuit with the wider open start loop, it's maybe not as much of a disadvantage as on some other circuits.
We joked about this. We passed a very cheery Ralph Nath on the way into work this morning, and the two of us said, well, Matthias and Alessandro must be in good form.
Yeah, he was definitely chirpy.
Yeah.
But if you go for the overall, for the World Cup title, then you need to ride and perform well in the short tracks too. Otherwise, you're not going to make it.
There's too many points up for grabs to not take them seriously. 7 seconds now. Tom Pidcock leads the way here in Cron Montana. Pidcock through the B-line and the rocks just gives you a slightly better entry to that big turn.
Wondering which line Matthias Flukiger is taking and how fast he can come back to Tom Pidcock. These sections will suit Matthias Flukiger.
Pidcock changing tactics that lap. Previous lap hit the A-line. This year swapping to the B, just playing a bit safer.
Flukiger's 5 seconds behind them by our screens.
There's Nino Schurter on 3rd place.
The chase is on here.
And here we see Tom Pidcock. Concentration on his face.
The UCI World Champions rainbow stripes on the Ineos Grenadiers kit. He'll be headed to the Tour de France imminently off the back of this one.
Almost back together. A small gap in between Tom Pidcock and Matthias Flukiger, numbers 1 and 2 in the race.
As I say, we have been treated to this battle before, Mont-Sedan last year. And if Matthias Flukiger can get back in touch with Tom Pidcock, you can bet there will be no quarter given between these two.
They've had some classic scraps in the past.
Josh has been on. There's been a crash for Guerini on the B-line in the rock garden. So Guerini's day going from bad to worse amidst the rocks of Cron Montana. Pidcock stays out. Flukiger ups for a bottle.
Yeah, that lane where Pidcock is, the transit, it's a bit faster. Nino comes in for to clean his drivetrain a little bit with some water.
It's quite a good exit off it here as well. It doesn't cost you too much on the exit like we have on other tracks. And Shell there taking a bottle on. So Shell still in fourth.
I think part of it is we've seen Nino going through, taking a bottle for himself and then a bottle to spray on his cogs on the rear.
Third place currently for Nino Schurter as the leaders head into the Red Bull Roots and Rules section.
Still very slippery over there.
Yeah, plenty of moisture left on that descent.
That is a one gear for Matthias Flückiger at the bottom, a little bit small. He managed that and changed that quickly.
And obviously now we've got this long asphalt section going through the start and finish, and then the climb, and it's whether Pidcock, well, keeps the pressure on. He's not going to give any. Let Matthias come back on.
Pidcock had his best time trial in the Tour de Suisse.
Yeah.
Geoffrey Collel, something wrong with him. It looks like a flat rear tire. Number 16 here in the pit.
Disaster for the BH team. Tom Pidcock just took a look over his shoulder and saw Matthias Flückiger enjoying a drink from his bottle. I wonder that will be the green light. Here comes Nino Schurter in the shot now.
All these few riders now have to go into time trial mode.
Yeah, Pidcock put the hammer down. Not waiting at all here on the asphalt.
And this first climb was super tough. The short track, it was taking the riders about a minute and a half to climb up this asphalt climb. Then we have a small recovery before we go into the woods, but it keeps going and going. It's about 4 minutes all in all where you're actually putting big power through the pedals. It's a really tough climb.
There's Schwarzbar and Brandl. The battle for the last spot on the podium is raging between Lucas Schwarzbar and his compatriot Max Brandl. Lars Forster wants to get across to them.
And Forster, a winner from last year as well in the World Cup, but always very good on the hilly courses and in the mud too.
Then we have Jordan Sarroux, also Guerini, Luca Braido behind him.
And Braido as well. Third last week in Val di Sole, a rider coming into really, really good form. I think we'll see him coming through this pack as the race goes on.
Another young Swiss rider, Joel Roth, 10th place.
Yeah, going well, Joel Roth.
Of the Bix Performance race team.
Of course.
But these are all on 11th place.
Team manager there, Matthias Flückiger's brother, Lucas.
Pidcock doing well to ride that technical section.
Yeah, wondering what Matthias can do.
He's off the bike already.
Able to come back to Thomas Pidcock. Pidcock was pushing hard on the asphalt constantly.
Yeah, it's gone from 5 seconds to 13 seconds now.
Nino struggling over there as well to stay on his bike. This cost him a lot of seconds. What he's doing now.
Pidcock did really well to power his way through that section.
And that's kind of what we've seen here, isn't it? It's death by 1,000 cuts a wee bit. There's little mistakes here and there adding up over the course of a lap.
Looks like Julian Schell comes back a little bit to Nino Schurter.
30 seconds covering the top 4 now. Meanwhile, 45, 46 seconds back. Schwarzbar and Brandl.
There's going to be this big scrap between the three Germans, and Schlepp just coming into good form. And like I said, he was 16th in the third round in Neve Mesto, and it was his first short track that he was able to race in, and he used that to the best he could and moved his gridding forward. And it's something that we saw years ago that Schwarzbauer did. He was a mid-pack, kind of 20s, 30s racer. Once he got his opportunity in the short track to move forward, and that gridding is so important.
Yeah, these days in mountain biking, it goes so fast from the start on. When it comes into the off-camber, into the off-road sections, you have to be in a good position. And that's why the start is so important.
And it's always, the mountain bike, there's no let-up. It's so intense, and every bit of energy you overexpend early on, it's always going to catch up with you in the latter laps.
Tom Pidcock off the bike momentarily at the bottom of that climb. Back on again now, though.
19 seconds now.
19 seconds now.
But it's the tempo that Pidcock just dancing up these climbs.
Yeah, he found his rhythm. Also in the more technical and more difficult parts of this course.
There is Flückiger, second place currently for the Tumas. Max on rider.
We're going into this race for real pressure race, having a poor World Cup, getting Olympic selection. He had a great end of season last year, so it was a well-deserved Olympic selection, but you definitely would feel that pressure, and I think this race or Leger were kind of his last two opportunities to get a good World Cup under his belt.
Yeah, and also, I mean, there was a lot of pressure around the qualification for the Swiss team. I mean, that Filippo Colombo had some great results. Marcel Guerini made it to the podium a couple of times.
Flückiger nearly losing the bike there.
And that's what Matthias Flückiger felt as well. So, but he's proven now his form.
21 seconds now the gap.
Well, Nino, same.
So Pidcock really, really up with the tempo at the front.
Julian Schelp.
Schelp still hanging in there, 40 seconds back.
He's not that far off Nino.
Yeah, doing a fantastic ride. I'd say this year's best result going into this race, 16th in the World Cup this season. Last year had 20s, 30s overall. And
over that big route over there.
So tough to get that right. Big consequences if you get it wrong as well.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
That's not something you see on every day.
No, especially not from Nino.
Massive mistake.
Now on third, but we don't see that many questions of Nino.
Massive mistake from Schurter over the barriers. Back on the bike. It looked like a soft enough landing, but it's cost him time. And you're right, Ollie, you really don't get to say that very often. Nino Schurter in trouble here in Crans-Montana.
I can count them on one hand the amount of time I've seen that boy on the deck.
Yeah, he came into that big rut.
Let's see it again. Just didn't get hooked up in that rut early enough and then deposited unceremoniously over the barriers.
And you just see how deep that rut, and once you're in it, you've got to keep your weight on the inside. The moment that weight goes to the outside, it's all going to go wrong. We saw on the B line, on the waterfall, Jen Jackson, the same sort of thing, just getting a bit squirrely coming in, and when you go into the outside then and into the tape.
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard to find his rhythm back as well, also his confidence, you see as well. He was also here a few seconds again.
Unclipped.
Yeah, he's not together with this bike at the moment.
Hasn't looked down, and I just wonder if there's something going on.
I think he's had to run a little bit. There may be too much mud in the pedals and the shoes, and we saw Puck Pieterse in the women's race. He had to run a section and then almost crashed afterwards because her feet weren't in the pedals correctly. So.
Yeah, that looked like it really actually, in the grand scheme of things, upset Puck's rhythm earlier on, that little section. Doesn't take much on a day like today when the ruts are this deep.
Yeah, Nino, fourth place now.
And he's
a small crash.
And he's not reeled Schelp in straight away either.
It's just unsettling. It was it's not just a little slide off. That was a proper crash.
Yeah, no, he went over the bar.
You get up, but it's going to take you a little while to regroup.
Yeah.
A bit stiff.
It wasn't on the scale of that one in Mariporo though. That was an absolute massive one.
Yeah, the net saved his crash a little bit, even when he went over his bars.
Jens Sherman's the giant, also missing today with a knee injury, going for scans on it. The gap now 34 seconds from Pidcock back to Flückiger.
It's unbelievable season that Pidcock's got in front of him. Winner in Novo Mesto, his fourth win in a row on that circuit, was unbelievable that day. And then from there went straight to the big warm-up race, the Tour of Swiss, 6th overall, back to here.
Took victory at the Amstel Gold start of the season. And he always sort of talks about mountain biking being kind of a busman's holiday for him, and this is what he enjoys doing, to sort of not be on the road bike, isn't it? And
I mean, Saturday starts Tour de France for him.
Yep. Cannot wait for that. Tour de France getting underway this Saturday on Eurosport Cycling.
And Swiss riders, Lars Forster, 6th place now, coming through strong. Another Thomas Maxson rider.
Max Brandl looking like he's starting to suffer a wee bit.
2nd place for Matthias Flückiger. A little bit of a bigger gap now to the 3rd place.
As we jump on board the drone behind Tom Pidcock.
It's such a tough climb now. It's a little bonus one. Not one of the big climbs, but just a little leg sapper. And then we drop straight into the rock garden. What makes this so difficult, as you can see, Pidcock now still climbing now. Full drop of the post.
Taking the A-line.
That's what the cheer was for from the crowd.
it to Nino Schurter, Pitcock Hess.
Julian Schell took that line on the last lap, apparently, that A-line. We'll see if he does it again this one.
Interesting to see as well. Gap to Mateus, 35 seconds. It's interesting to see how much time on these big descent sections Mateus can close on Pitcock.
There's only 5 seconds at the finish line. Yeah. 6 seconds, and now it's 35 already.
Huge lap from Tom Pitcock, this one. Mateus Klugiger in the B-line.
See that deep rut on the way out. That's the one. That congratulatory wheels we saw, similar to Nino getting caught on that descent. It's another one that can just catch you out if he waits in the wrong place.
You can hear the support of the fans also for Matthias here.
See now we got the rock garden section going straight into the waterfall. See which line Mateus Klugiger takes.
Taking the B line again, but that's a very steep one on top too.
So steep in the entry coming in, and you've got to catch that big berm, that big rut. If you get that right, then you carry so much speed on the way out.
6 UCI cross-country Olympic wins for Mateus Klugiger.
Yeah, and normally Mateus is so consistent and a winner from last year as well. And it was only this, at his start of the season, it just a bit of illness early on, which he took him to Brazil, and then it just upset him a little bit. And we expected him to come back into some good form at some point, but he was starting to run out of time a little bit. But at the moment, this is the best legs he's had so far this year.
Yeah, and also definitely a course what suits him. Yeah. Steep climbing. Also, when it should have been a dry course, definitely also something good for him.
And it's like some riders just love that mud. It's just that extra technicality. Yeah, Klugiger does. His teammate Forster does as well.
Oh, Pitcock. Evasive manoeuvres around them routes.
And there's also the motivation or the confidence what these conditions brings to you before the start of the race. That's definitely what Matthias Klugiger has as well. But and he got these conditions in the last few days. Nino Schurter here, also unclipped in that rock garden. Plays not a good lap for him at all, and another crash.
Big crash for Schurter.
Leslie wins games. Look at him.
Woofed.
Lucky not to go down on those big rocks.
Mark, you know my rule. If you don't let go of the bike, it's not a crash. The hand stayed on the grip the whole time there.
Let's see how he's doing in the next shot. At least, yeah, the slow motion of this saw was amazing.
Looked like a big impact.
Hopefully he didn't hurt himself.
For Nino Schurter, definitely a crash.
There was not some. There's no place to crash.
Nowhere soft up there. Reporting in, Carlson saying Julian Schell took the A-line on that last lap, but bad news. Maximilian Brandel's been down. Thinks he may have broken his jaw.
Yeah, Brandel like the timing.
Yeah, he's plummeting down the timing sheet, so we hope everything is all right with Max Brandel. The medics are with him now. So
where and when did it happen?
I just got a message from Carlson saying he's had a crash.
Yeah, we saw him there. And there was Nino, still on his bike. Good to see him riding.
He did very, very well not to twist a knee or something or an ankle there in those rocks. Sure.
Yeah, the first crash in the woods generally going to be soft, but that rock garden, you're lucky to get really lucky to get away with that one.
Sure. Actually, he didn't lose that much time to Julian Schell, who's still third.
No, he must have managed to keep the bike moving and jump back on almost straight away. Schwarzbauer stretching the back out as we're used to seeing.
Lars Forster with him. A little bit of a draft here on this part of the course.
Let's see.
I think they regroup together with Nino.
And then he gets a chance to just kind of regroup, follow a wheel for a bit, get his energy back.
There's Jordan Sarou.
It would be good to know about Maximilian Brandel, why he dropped, what happened.
Colidani coming back through really strong. Colidani ahead of Frido and Sarou now. So top 10, Guarini crosses the line, covered by 2 minutes.
Yeah, Colombo just moving back up as well.
Yeah, these three together.
But yeah, Colodani from Santa Cruz. That's
yeah,
just ahead of his teammate, the Italian champion, Brido.
Having a good round, Santa Cruz RockShox pro team.
Chilean Shelp in third place. Then we have that Jason group at Nino who's leading.
And it's good now for Schwartzbauer just to get Nino's wheel. Forster as well, that's a good group. Schlepp just doing that more technical run line up the middle. Yeah. Opportunity to where Schwartzbauer is at the moment, that is rideable, but it's a questionable ride.
Yeah, questionable rideable. We saw riders also struggling over there, but now it looks like it's better rideable. All these three, they made it.
Yeah, and you get these mixed sections, it's trying to just pick out which one you think you can do, which one you can gain time.
Yeah, and sometimes it's also what the rider in front of you is doing, which line he's taking. Do I have to follow him or taking my own line, which is different?
Nino Schurter, 6th place currently.
And then look at Schwartzbauer in 4th place.
Yeah, Nino again, another bobble.
Yeah.
Stays on the bike, Schurter though.
The only guy we've seen ride that, and he's doing it again.
So good, so powerful.
Doesn't like to run these sections.
Oh, elbows his way past Schwartzbauer, no short order.
Yeah, changing positions constantly, these riders do.
This whole section here is really slippery, lots of big roots, the chance of losing that back wheel. The riders having to stay seated, trying to keep that weight on the back wheel, keep the traction.
Yeah, it's important to manage your body weight perfectly on these sections. You have to find your grip and you have to move over these slippery roots.
The 5th round of the UCI Cross Country World Cup in Crans-Montana is bubbling up nicely. Tom Pidcock leads the way by 40 seconds ahead of Matthias Flukiger. Julian Shelbs in 3rd, Nino Schurter's in 4th. It's the head of Lucas Schwartzbauer. Schurter in the last lap in the wars, off the bike a couple of times.
Yeah, not having his best lap, the previous lap, but he has to find his rhythm back. And that's what he's doing now. 3rd place.
And the sun's just coming out and you can just sit on course, but Nino's having lots of problems with his pedals. You see then just banging his foot, trying to clear the mud. And I think that was also the issue on that rock garden as he came in the first big compression he hit, a foot came out and bopped out the pedal, and he's got nothing, whether it's a stone or something is in that shoe.
Yeah, I can confirm it was the rock garden. Maximilian Brandl went down in, so Brandl was riding high, but down and out of this one with the medics. There's Jordan Sarrou for BMC, soon to be French Olympian yet again.
Yeah, but also from Jordan Sarrou, we have seen better races.
Yeah.
I've got a theory that Sarrou is going to be one of the riders to beat come Paris 2024. I think he's boxing very cleverly at the minute, and I think the focus is on those Olympic medals and maybe just getting the racecraft in, getting the legs turned on. He's one of the cleverest racers out there. As Tom Pidcock goes down, seemingly out of nowhere, loses the front end, puffs the cheeks.
How quickly it happened, constantly. Riders, they have to be concentrated everywhere.
Strange crash.
Yes, but it's a very off-camera section over here. Just a little bit too fast. Even if you're leading the race, what happened?
Just taken out by a sniper route or something, as the front wheel went from underneath him. Quickest look at it.
Schwartzbauer on 4th place.
And partly as well, you've just gone down the really difficult timber section, then into the off-camber, and you've just taken a bit of a recovery.
Relax. And then,
relaxing it back.
We saw it with Charlie Aldridge in Arashad, didn't we? Just soft hands on the bars, not a technical section, and it's not much for the front end. It just gets spun around on you.
So often you see riders crashing, it's on that easy bit of forest track or bit of gravel.
Sure. Oh! And Lars Forster down heavily in the timber garden.
Also for Nino.
Arrives on the scene, manages to get the bike slowed down, get past him. Great bike riding that from Nino Schurter.
Yeah, that timberwood garden. If you touch your brakes a little bit too much, you slide and you crash immediately.
Oh, I've done that. Lars Forster doing it. Let's see it again.
Oh, the rear going first, then the front.
Lars Forster just doing that little wave of the hand to make sure all the fingers are in the right place.
Yeah, and it really hurts to crash on that wood. They're all different sizes of locks.
Yeah, well,
it's a shame for Lars Forster.
Is that a thumb up to the camera?
I think he's just making sure the thumb's in the right place.
Oh, that hurts, I think.
Back markers getting caught already by Tom Pidcock on lap 4 out of 7.
Yeah, but we saw also in the women's race.
Absolutely.
Now again.
Absolutely no shame in that whatsoever, the speed he's going. Forster, though.
Yeah, Forster looking to his bike.
Looks like his day.
But also, his hand, it hurts.
I wonder if that thumb was out and it's gone back in, maybe.
It's going to be tough to regroup after that one.
Meanwhile, Mathias Flukiger's got the tongue out. He's trying hard, digging deep.
Second place.
43 seconds now after that crash from Pidcock, so...
Yeah,
and that's just the kind of day it is. There's mistakes in this for everyone. You've got to keep believing.
It's true.
On a course like this and in these conditions, everyone's going to have a crash at some point today, and it's making sure it's not a one on a rock section, it's on a soft section, and it's just making sure you can get up, preserve your bike.
Get journey on, don't stop believing. Pidcock takes the A-line, the big drop in.
Yeah, even after a couple of laps, you think other riders have found their rhythm, but still, I mean, I think every lap, every moment it changes again, and they have to be concentrated constantly everywhere.
You see, like Pidcock, that section, you've just cleaned the hardest A-line bit, the biggest jump in the course, but then you get a bit squirrely just on some rocks on the way out, and that's when you get a flat tyre. There's so many opportunities on this circuit, not just the big man-made sections, but that can catch you out.
There's Schell, third place for Julian Schell currently.
Schwarzbauer on fourth.
Luca Bridle as well, guy we know in form. He's coming through strong.
What a shake-up in the overall points this one's going to be. And if you are just joining us, just a reminder, Victor Koretsky, the overall point leader, not racing today due to a rib injury. Decided to try and focus on getting healthy for Paris 2024.
And overall as well, Alan Hatherley at the moment sitting back at 18th place. His teammate Eldridge after that fast start back to 20th now, both Cannondale Factory Racing. Guarini 15th. Another rider's had good form lately, just had a small crash early on.
Looks like also Lucas Schwarzbauer found his rhythm. He's going fast. No problems to follow him. He's taking it a bit more carefully. Coming to that rock garden where he had a crash before in the previous lap. Let's see which line he will take.
And Schwarzbauer so far, he's been consistent, but a little bit slower than he has been last season. It'd be great to see him back on that podium again.
He's such an open book as well, tells it how it is, and he said that he's been very open, that he's very critical of himself, and he's not where he wants to be form-wise. But again, like Saru, I just wonder if he's a rider who may just...
But it's not peak, it's just that couple of percent off, and those couple of percent you can find.
Here we go, watch this for a bit of energy transfer. Tom Pidcock through.
Taking the A-line on that rock garden.
Massive
the highest drop.
And that is a big drop.
Yeah, and it's blind. It's blind as anything.
And you see how slippery it is.
Pidcock, the skills.
A lot of spectators here next to this rock garden. Great to see that.
It's amazing. It just shows how skilled Tom Pidcock is. He spends less time on his mountain bike than most of the other riders in this field, but can come back within a few days of recce. He's back on it. As good as he's ever been.
Didn't practice this morning. Didn't practice this morning because he didn't like the schedule. And so his first lap today was lap 1 of the race.
Impressive level of skill.
Yeah, well, let's see the damage that he's done. Pidcock crosses the line. 3 laps to go for him. And what is the distance to Matthias Flukiger going to be at the end of this one?
I say Sun just coming out now. He's going to drive the course.
Yeah, lap time's around 12 minutes at the moment.
Ineos Grenadiers rider well in control of this one.
Fastest lap time goes to Tom Pidcock so far. 11:38.
Here comes Matthias Flukiger, then crosses the line. Stops the split at 40 seconds, so it's stable.
Here we see Matthias just on that, when he got the big descent down the rock garden followed by the waterfall, generally just pulls a few seconds back. Tom Pidcock not taking any risks. But then as soon as he hit that big climb up again, last few laps we've seen Pidcock just take 10, 15 seconds out to Matthias.
Julian Shelb sticking his gel.
Shelb on the gels as he heads up the start-finish straight.
With 3 laps to go.
Great race from Julian Shelb.
Yeah, and he's just going about his job, getting it done. But this, to put it into context, is a huge, this will be a PB by a huge margin.
You saw as well he was dropping back his paper, his wrap from the gel into his pocket. There's a drop zone these days where riders are allowed to drop their bottle or their gel, but nothing else, or no one else on the course, like these zones only.
And Schnell on that stop-and-go team. Not a big factory team like most of the riders he's scrapping with today.
Lucas Schwarzbauer in an aerodynamic position.
Schwarzbauer over the bars, giving it full gas.
Nico Bridal, Santa Cruz Rock shot, the Italian champ. 4th last week on home soil in Val di Sole. Up to 6th now.
Bridal, I said at the top of the broadcast, another rider who's riding back into a nice little bit of form at exactly the right time.
Great performance from him last week in Val di Sole in Italy. And Julian Shelb has to do it on his own. A little bit of a gap in front of Nino Schurter. Looks like Nino found his rhythm back.
Christopher Blevins currently down in 36th for Specialized Factory Racing.
Yeah, not his best races last week, this week.
His teammate Martin Vidari in 30th, so bit of a tough weekend for Specialized Factory
We have
Racing.
to speak with Benno.
I don't know. Could be a quiet van ride home after this one.
Yeah, Specialized, obviously the factory team's so dominant in those first couple of races in Brazil, came out absolutely firing.
Yeah.
But this last couple of weeks in Europe, just been finding things a little bit of bad luck.
Haley Batten losing the overall points leader's jersey. Victor Koretsky's could be in danger today. Not an ideal round for Specialized Factory Racing by any stretch of the imagination, but that Achilles tendon of Haley Batten's will be the focus of most of their attentions, along with that rib of Victor Koretsky's, I think.
Shelp again, he took that running part instead of riding.
It's getting warm out there now, whisper it.
Yeah, when the sun is out, it's immediately much warmer.
Yeah,
and it dries quickly as well, but still, this course, it's very slippery.
There's a weird blue pattern forming in the sky as well. The first time we've seen that all week.
We haven't seen that here at all.
No.
Nino pushing on.
Finally.
So strong on these little steep, rooty patches. He's the only guy that can ride some of these sections.
He's coming back to Julian Shelb. Yeah, definitely the overall World Cup title plays in his mind.
Jordan Sarrou, the French champ.
Shelb off the bike and running. Takes a second to get clipped back in. Tell you what, it's quite an old school jersey that of Shelb's, isn't it?
Yeah, full retro.
Full 90s spec. I mean,
yeah, it is.
It's great to see.
Stop and go. It's more like he's definitely the main rider of that team. It's also built around him some years ago.
It's great to see some of these smaller teams mixing it up with the big factory guys. You know, Julian Shelby's had some amazing results, especially, like say Bart said, as an under-23 rider, but you know, sitting 45th on the world rankings at the moment, 25th in the World Cup rankings, so punching well above his weight at the moment.
Yeah, when the confidence is there, when you can go to the Olympics, you are qualified or almost qualified, it lifts yourself to a higher level. And Nina Schurter, he's back on the wheel of Julian Schelp. And that's the third place in the race, numbers 3 and 4.
Just see that gap looking as well, going 40 seconds, now back to 50 again on that first big climb. The speed that Pidcock's climbing today is...
Tom Pidcock merciless at the front of this one, 50 seconds ahead of Matthias Flukiger. Then there's a chunky gap back, nearly a minute.
Yeah, but it looks like you also look at Ryder. He's coming back to Julian Schelp and Nino.
The battle for third place is raging out there as the sun starts to shine for what feels like the first time this week in Crom, Montana.
And also Jordan Searle, I mean, to Julian Schelp, it's not that big. 20 seconds, more like that. 18 it is.
But really impressed with Schurter at the moment. You know, a rider who's won so many races, but he had a shocker of a lap, 2 big crashes, but he hasn't missed a beat. Straight on the bike, straight back on the pressure again. Yeah, true champ.
Yeah, it looks like there's coming more speed into this race.
Yeah, definitely drying out now.
So wondering how the lap times will be. If they cross the line, then we will see him no more.
Pidcock gaining another 4 seconds. I'm talking
also Nino now taking a different line on that route. That big route that's over there. Well, look at Ryder now coming back to the third place.
Listen to the chance of Nino. Nino from the side of the track. It's not been the display he put on for the fans in Lenzerheide last year in Switzerland, but it's definitely been a display. One of the very toughest to ever do it. Nino Schurter refusing to give up on third place here, and he's got Julian Schelp in his crosshairs.
And also an amazing performance of Julian Schelp here today.
Take nothing away from him.
They really manage their speed when they come into this Timberwood section.
And it's just in the shade as well, so it won't be getting much sunlight, it won't be drying out.
Yeah, but the riders, they carry on constantly new mud on that wood, and that makes it so slippery. And also the tires are covered in mud, so yeah, that's not the best combination.
This is a section where we saw
really nicely done from Schelp there, jumping up onto that higher line.
I say Schelp in these muddy conditions, same as the European Championships where he placed third.
There's your leader, Tom Pidcock.
The world champion. Yeah, it's looking good how he's paddling. There's power in his legs.
Definitely, Pidcock endurance is not going to be an issue.
I'm wondering what he's going to do in the Tour de France.
They're probably just going to put him out on his mountain bike, I think. Let him battle it out.
Would he take his mountain bike with him to ride it once in a while?
If this is what
the rest day, maybe.
If this is what he does to relax. Just absolutely phenomenal what Tom Pidcock is able to do on just about any race bike.
Second place for Matthias Flukiger from Switzerland.
What do you make of this one? What do you make of this one, Bart? So much noise around Matthias Flukiger's place on the Swiss Olympic team. What a way to answer the critics today.
Yeah, that's the way how you have to answer it, and that's the right way he does it. But I think, yeah, from my side, he had the credits as well. That he was qualified, was selected for Switzerland for the Olympic Games. I mean, he did quite okay last year, and also yeah, this year. At the beginning of the year, it wasn't his best World Cups, and of course a few other Swiss riders, they were so well performing, like Marcel Guerini and Filippo Colombo, especially. I think these two. Yeah, and then it makes it quite hard for these people who have to make the decisions. But yeah, Matthias, he has shown that he's always there when it comes down to yeah, championships, as the Olympic Games are as well.
Yep, classy ride from Matthias Flukiger. Let this bike racing do the talking. But this battle, Schurter now up in the third place ahead of Schelp. You can hear the crowd's reaction to it.
But a minute 50 back, that's a big gap.
Big gap. We had a great battle last week for third place in Val d'Isère. We're going to get another one today. This mid-pack battle.
Yeah. the third, fourth and fifth place in the race.
It's just, I mean, I say this at every round, but it's just such a brilliant generation of racers. The talent pool's so deep, they can all run with the bulls now.
And I reckon they're going to be joined by Jordan Saru, pretty sharpish.
Yeah, he's not that far off.
Yeah, with Lucas Schwarzbar, the Canyon Collective.
It's great to see Brido back in form. Winner of a couple of World Cups in the past few seasons ago, and then just went off the boil a little bit.
Yeah,
but coming back through bang on form now.
Didn't kick on, did he? But really, really strong today.
Schleld on the A-line, on the B,
into the rock garden.
Oh, high on the rocks.
Shell back into third place now.
You can see the rear wheel of Luca Brido sliding down.
Brido just stuck in the wrong gear there momentarily as well.
It's the advantage of that A-line is it pushes you right up onto the top of the rocks and you miss that big horrible rut at the bottom that Brido got stuck in there.
This corner was also very slippery.
Yeah. Really,
most of the riders, they go really wide.
They're having to straight line it, aren't they, so they can get the bike turned. What a display from Julian Shelb this weekend, though.
Yeah, you're never sure. Some riders can do an amazing short track over 20 minutes, but then... Like I say, they can do a good short track, but then struggle to translate that into the hour plus of the XCO.
It's like that, yeah, but no, not today for Julian Shelb.
No, he's doing an amazing job backing it up.
Third place.
Meanwhile, out front, Tom Pidcock, 43 seconds in the lead ahead of Matthias Flukiger as he comes round. 2 to go after this one.
Flukiger again, just bringing it back on the long descent. Brings back 10. Pidcock takes out 15, and it just keeps rocking and rolling between the two of them.
I think especially this part of the course, the asphalt, the climb, that's what Tom Pidcock suits, and where Matthias Flukiger is losing a bit of time constantly.
Tom Pidcock, though.
2 more laps to go. Out of the saddle, it's looking strong how he's pedaling.
Looking like he is just rolling around here. And all the time, he's just inserting that bit more pressure, bit more pressure.
I say the last mountain bike race, Nova Mesto World Cup, Pidcock, he was so strong, and on the climbs, that's where he could attack Nino. Mateus just rolling through. 46 seconds now, 2 laps to go.
Here they go down through the Red Bull Roots and Rolls section. Shelb neatly does it. Schurter follows him. Brido, nothing to choose between the 3 of them down there.
And these sections now, the ones in the sun, just drying out really nicely, getting a lot faster. Proper racing line appearing.
Yeah, much more grip.
Shelb just zipping the jersey up. Saru in to the pits. There's a rear wheel change.
Yep, must be rear flat.
Takes the opportunity to take a gel, take a drink on. BMC team, some of the best in the business.
It was in a good way to make it almost to the top 5. I mean, from the 3rd to the 5th place, that group.
But a nightmare, Suri just made contact with that group as well.
Nicely done, though, got away.
But it was a quick change, 25 till 30 seconds, but he lost.
Schurter now driving the pace in front of Shelb.
Forster 9th, Swiss. Philippe Colombo 10.
Pidcock, Flukiger, Schurter, Shelb, Brido, Schwarzbar, Colidani. Great ride from him in 7th. Behind him it's Saru, then Forster, then Filippo Colombo back up in 10th.
Yeah, he was back to almost 20th at one point, whether he had a flat tyre we missed or mechanical, but yeah, strong rider. We now got 4 Swiss in the front 10.
Yeah, that second lap time from Filippo Colombo, he lost about 30 seconds compared to his other lap times he had.
Over the last 34 years, then only 16 men have won a UCI Cross-Country World Cup on home soil. Schurter, he's done it on 3 occasions before today. but not looking like it's going to be number 4. Flukiger 49 seconds back from Pidcock. Here is Schurter heading into 3rd place.
Yeah, overtaking Julian Shelp.
Yep, Shelp didn't put up too much of a fight. But Shelp and Schurter still doing battle now. Schurter in the black and white jersey of Scott Schramm, MTB Racing.
Shelp, different line, running, equal in time.
And there's Luca Braido with them in the Italian national champions colours.
Yeah, it looks like when the sun comes out, it's drying quickly. More drier parts right now, more grip for these riders.
This track has been a mental as much as a physical battle all week long for these riders, and its final sting in the tail is that it's now going to start to dry out for the last 2 laps of this elite men's race.
Well, thankfully, sometimes when it's been really muddy, when it dries out, it gets really sticky and sticks to the bikes. Big chance of mechanical issues. At the moment, though, it's not causing that sort of sticky mud.
No, it's not getting up.
No. It can get nice and fast as well, sort of packs in a bit. You can trust the ruts a bit more.
We've seen you now riding all these little climb and difficult sections. The ones on lap 1 an hour ago, they were just struggling to get traction, but now a bit more grip available.
Koladani and Schwarzbauer actually not that far off, these two, of that group of 3.
Schurter just halting Shelp's progress behind him. Braido right back into contention after that. Schurter clever, just parking the bike across. Whoa, Shell getting a bit of a weave on down that descent. Back in, just threatening to step out on him.
Really difficult little section that we have a climb, then it drops down, another little climb before a really big dip, and there's a lot of chance there to lose some hemorrhage, like quite a few seconds.
It's a very difficult section over there. But also here where Tom Pidcock is.
He's so strong on this climb, and he's put that gap out to Mateusz Flukiger back to 58 seconds again.
Coming into the Timberwood section.
Approaching a minute to the good for Tom Pidcock as he heads into the Timberwoods.
And the A-line, precisely timed.
Yeah, you just have to kind of get the wheels in a straight line there, don't you, and go for it.
You see how it's about coming into it really slow, so you don't have to brake so much.
Listen to this.
No, but it's definitely a much shorter line than if you have go around on the C line.
Lots of singing for Nino Schurter.
Shelp to Braido. Just a few seconds and then a bit more to Koladani.
Ollie, big ride from Mateusz Flukiger today.
Yeah, big pressure. Home race. Hasn't had a good World Cup so far this season. Olympic selection. Well talked about, and then to come back, sitting in 2nd at the moment. First Swiss, it's a big deal.
Christopher Blevins has just rolled through the start-finish line in 35th now, Blevins.
Yeah, a bit weird.
And another rider as well, Hathaway. He's disappearing, 22nd now. So the overall at the moment really going in the favour of Nino Schurter.
Yeah, Aldridge up in the 16th as well. Saru in 8th. Seems to have stabilised the losses after that rear flat.
Nino and Julian Shelp, and then we have Luca Braido, these 3. And almost 3, 4 and 5 in the race. Koladani, a little bit further down, almost 10 seconds. There he is. Nadir Koladani from Italy.
Koladani, one of the standout rides of that top 10, you'd have to say.
He's not qualified for the Olympic Games. That's Simone Avendetto, together with Luca Braido.
But no Avendetto this weekend.
No. I don't know actually why. Maybe altitude training as well, the last preparation for the Olympics.
We should give a shout out as well to Maxime Marot. He's currently in 45th, announced his retirement earlier on this week. Just battled with allergies for too long. One of the great cross-country pros, Frenchman.
Great career. Schurter
still attacking down that descent. Watch Shell go high here. Works for him every lap, gives him that wider entry into this corner, can slot it home between those two routes and carry the speed out, and he's right back on the back wheel of Nino Schurter. Bridle slightly less comfortable.
Yeah, Schnell, what a ride. Sitting there on the back of Nino, 4th place. Be a huge PB for the German rider and probably an Olympic Games spot.
You'd have to think so.
Not a bad Sunday.
Yeah, Max Brandl was up in the mix as well, but big crash in the rock garden and taking him out of contention. He's with the medics. So hoping he's all right. Yeah, having a brilliant day before that, Brandl.
This climb, super tough coming up to this one. Pidcock finding a good line between the routes.
Many times out of the saddle, more grip now on his rear wheel.
You see the power he's got just attacking that one. Big wattage.
Into that rock garden. A-line again for him.
Oh, just get pushed slightly left on the way through there.
So you get good exit speed if you do that A-line, pushes you right up onto that rock wall. So we're just about that gap to 49 seconds to Matthias Flückiger. It's all about keeping it smooth.
What a ride for Tom Pidcock today.
Absolutely.
Oh, I think it's like that every time again. Sliding into that
It's a horrible feeling as well when the back end starts to arch around in the opposite direction you need it to.
But that wooden entry on the way in, it's so steep.
Yeah.
When I ran around the course there, I couldn't even walk down. I was having to hang onto the trees.
Yeah. That's crazy how steep that is.
Schurter getting roared around this track in Crans-Montana.
It's a big gap to second.
Yeah, all the riders a bit faster lap times constantly.
49 seconds, Tom Pidcock out front. Ahead of Matthias Flückiger. Then it's Nino Schurter, Julian Scheld, Luca Bridle, Nadir Koledani, Luca Schwarzbauer.
Between Koledani and Schwarzbauer.
Yeah, top 5.
Yeah, Koledani still in touch for a podium spot.
The battle for 3rd place really teeing itself up nicely. 3rd to 5th, all to play for.
Jordan Giroux after his flat tire, still on 8. Max Foster after his crash, 9th place.
Schurter, Scheld, Bridle. Who is going to take 3rd place from this little lot?
I think Nina. Place your bets now.
Oh, who do you think, Bart? Always let Bart answer first because he's usually right.
It's true.
I take someone else. But Nino is looking strong. It doesn't come down to a sprint finish, I think, between these 3. Otherwise, I would say Julian Scheld.
Okay, I'll say Bridle then, because I think
Okay,
he's keeping his powder dry. We've not seen him at the front in 3rd place yet. He's got them where he wants them.
That's how we do it.
Koledani there, we just followed him on the drone in 6th. Here are the chasing group then. So 3rd place will come from this little lot.
It's deep, then hit that berm, that big rut.
Just having to try and squash that slightly.
That jump over there is actually not perfectly. I mean, it's almost a natural jump.
Just looks like there's a bit of a kick to it. Meanwhile, back in front, Tom Pidcock.
Looking around. Last lap, final lap.
Still looking like he's barely ticking over the Englishman. Heads out onto the final lap.
But for Pidcock as well, limited mountain bike appearances, but heading to his 2nd win in 2 races. 2 wins last year, World Championship, current Olympic champion. I mean, his hit rate is unbelievable.
It doesn't matter what format it is, what race bike it is, a win's a win, isn't it, for your confidence?
And it's so great to see him constantly back in mountain biking, even if he does a lot of roads, even some cyclocross in winter actually, but that's not that much anymore what he did last winter. But yeah, mountain like definitely probably the Olympic Games are his main goal as well.
Look at this man though, Mateusz Flukiger, what a ride today. Classy, gutsy ride from Mateusz Flukiger, heads onto his final lap.
Pressure was on Flukiger this weekend to get a good race in home soil and start his World Cup campaign with a good race.
For sure, he's happy with that.
Here we go though, the battle for third, heating up as it heads onto its last lap. Schurter, Shell, Brido.
Yeah, these sections are much drier, more grip.
Yeah, track finally just about perfect on the last lap.
In the last lap of the weekend.
Really, unless you were here earlier in the week, you would not believe the amount of water we had to deal with. Nearby Zermatt flooded.
The conditions this weekend so changeable. We had the end of the short track, reasonably good conditions, and then 5 minutes after they finished at the start of the U23 race, the heavens opened again and turned the course. Made it so treacherous for the U23 guys.
And especially also this morning, it was cloudy. Yeah. And when the mist came in, the course didn't dry at all from all the rain in the last week.
Well, Schurter takes the bell at the front of what will be the battle for third place. Shell, Brido, and are they going to be joined by Colodani?
But Flukiger, similar lap times than Pidcock at the moment, a bit faster.
Fastest lap belongs to Tom Pidcock. Mateusz Flukiger 4.2 seconds back off his. 45 seconds the distance on the road.
But also Nadir Colodani a bit faster than these three who are fighting for the third place.
These two well used to battling each other. The battle for eighth. Saru versus Forster. Forster had that big off in the middle of the Timber Garden.
Yeah, wondering how his thumb is doing.
It's good when you see someone going down hard like that. They can get up, get cracking again. He's recovered well. Yeah, still in that top 10.
Yeah, sometimes with all the adrenaline you don't feel it, but afterwards definitely it hurts.
And you kind of wonder as well what could have been for both of these riders. You know, Forster had that crash, Saru had that flat rear tyre.
Yeah.
They're both going very, very well, still quite high up the order.
Yeah, but don't forget these crashes of Nino.
True.
Also, I think none of these are faultless today. We saw Pidcock crashing as well.
On a course like this, in these conditions, like I say, most people will have had at least one, slip, small crash. It's just making sure you don't land on anything bad. And that's where it's this bit of luck on a day like today. You kind of always rolling the dice a bit.
And now definitely that line where the riders Nino went and Luca Brido, that was definitely a bit faster than Julian Schell did his running section.
And these two, Nino and Brido, now just piling on the pressure. Schlelb just starting to get distanced a little bit.
Yeah, breathing heavily now. The last lap of the fifth round of the 2024 UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup heating up a treat. This is the battle for third place you're looking at.
And that's Colodani on sixth place, Nadir Colodani. Is he able to close that gap?
Can Colodani get himself up on the podium? It would be just a reward for a really well-ridden race.
Schurter now
applying the pressure as he likes to do.
Kind of an attack over here on this climb. Difficult climb. Slippery and steep.
Yeah, there's a couple of really slippery routes just at the wrong angle. One took Nino out the lap before.
When riders are exhausted, it's getting more difficult.
Back wheel just surfing away underneath him on that carpet of route. Schell gets that nice high line. Still nailing those technical lines deep
but
into the
on these
race.
deep mud sections is where you see Schlelb's skill come in. He's faster than Nino, faster than Brido.
Yeah, that little punchy climb, all these riders have to run. It's too steep. Back on the bike.
Back on the bike, Schurter.
Schelp a little bit off, running a little bit further.
Schlelb good on the descent. He can just hold these two on this big climb up.
It's a big if. It's a big if, because we've seen Nino Schurter really turn the screw on this ascent throughout the race.
And Nino as well, having a difficult day, 2 crashes.
Yeah, and for him, definitely the overall points count.
Yep. Are we going to see Nino Schurter take control of the overall points jersey this afternoon in Switzerland? There's a bit of racing left to do.
That gap from Pidcock out front. Mathias Lückiger, every time you hit the climb, it just grows a bit, back to 57 seconds again.
Almost a minute. Extending his leads constantly.
Pidcock then, the leader. Lückiger in second, Schurter in third, Brido fourth. For the time being.
Here's Lars Forster, and then we have Jordan Seroux behind him.
Forster then, 8th place. Here we go. This one heating up between Brido and Schurter. Shell still in contention too. Different lines in that descent.
A little bit of a short recovery in that descent.
Very, very easy to come together as well whenever the traction's limited out there. Brido attacking the rear wheel of Schurter now up this really steep climb. Shell's right back with them.
I hope they will control their speeds when it comes down to the Timberwood section. Because there you have to be precisely.
Every single metre matters now.
On that timber section, that's not one to attack. That's one to treat with respect.
Yeah, to treat with respect. That's how it is. We saw the crash of Lars Forster.
Oh, Schurter slides on the way in.
Is it on purpose or?
Yeah, I wonder. Hangs a leg off.
And that allows Schell to close back on the back again.
What went wrong actually on top of that?
Just unclipped and got a little. Yeah, I think he thought he was going to go wide, so had to knock it off a bit. But
again, another tuck section where you do a really hard climb that you're at your maximum, and then you have to drop in, and the brain isn't quite working right. You're feeling fatigued,
especially at the end of the race. Pidcock.
And that's why this, say it again, this XC is so hard. You know, it's not just being able to ride these sections, it's being able to ride them after the climb before at full speed.
Makes it more hard, more difficult. Carry on his speed here in this little descent. Out of the saddle again, pushing hard on that punchy climb. Nino is pushing now, attacking.
Nino Schurter attacking. But Brido staying with him. Schell looking like he's on the ropes a bit now. 5th place.
I think Schlelby's job is just to hang on to that too. Stay in 5th. Stay
meanwhile,
Colodani.
Meanwhile, Tom Pidcock getting a yellow flag just at the top of the rock garden. Medics look like they're with a rider in the middle of that one.
Yeah.
Never easy.
The A-line is closed.
Mathias Lückiger will get the same flags. Lückiger still digging deep, as only Mathias Lückiger can.
But I say back to 107 now. The gap from 1st to 2nd. First time it's gone over a minute in the whole race.
As you say, like, he has brought it back towards. Pidcock in front, hasn't he? Yeah. But Pidcock's just able to extend on those climbs, and well, let's face it, everywhere else.
Yeah. So strong on the climbs today. That's where the big difference has been made. And this climb is, this course is, it's on the hilly side from the circuit. And
look at him.
His typical style for Mathias Lückiger.
Mathias Lückiger still battling.
Yeah, also for him. Oh, he's taking even the C line. He doesn't know about that B line.
Yeah,
if it's open or not.
I think maybe the flag wasn't far enough across for Pidcock.
Minute 7 back for Mathias Lückiger.
It's when you get these fights for a position like this third on the last lap, I get almost like lactate in my own legs. I can feel it. You know, I get into the fight of it.
These two in the booth,
so hard.
These two in the booth beside me, pedaling along with this battle for 3rd place.
A little bit of a gap for Julian Schell now, who's on 5th place.
I wonder if it might be lights out for Julian Schell, if he might be settling for 5th place here on a spot on the podium.
Yeah, but also for him, maybe it's enough. 5th place. Don't risk anything anymore.
Maybe it's enough. Olympic dreams going to be answered at the end of this one for Julian Schell.
Another German Lucas Schwarzbauer on 7th place.
Yeah, two of them separated by Nadir Colodani, the Italian.
And David List, another German, in 13th place.
And they're all getting told now, C-line.
C-line, yes.
We hope that rider is okay. They are with the medics. Some of the best medical staff on hand here in Switzerland. Meanwhile, at the front, out of the saddle, sprinting for the line as if there is any need. Tom Pidcock has been absolutely unstoppable today. It was Judgment Day in Crom, Montana, and the Tominator got the job done. Tom Pidcock takes his 7th UCI cross-country Olympic World Cup win. Superb stuff from the British rider, the UCI world champion. What a race to set yourself up for the Tour de France with. Tom Pidcock, absolutely spellbinding. Meanwhile, behind him,
the battle for 3rd place with Nino Schurter, Lucas Bridle and Julian Schelp.
Two classy performances behind him. Matthias Flukiger is going to get 2nd, but Schurter has scampered off up the road for 3rd place.
Waiting for Matthias Flukiger. He must be 2nd somewhere in front of these riders.
Schurter looks over his shoulder, sees Bridle, knows that he needs to get a move on. Can Nino Schurter hold off the big Italian to get 3rd place at his home
2nd
round?
place.
What a class act Matthias Flukiger is. What a way to answer your critics. Flukiger heads towards the finish line then. 2nd place for Matthias Flukiger.
And he's happy with that.
Absolutely superb result for Matthias Flukiger. That's how you answer your critics, in some style. Meanwhile, here we go, the battle for 3rd place, warming up now. Schurter versus Bridle down the Red Bull Roots and Rolls section for the last time. And they arrive on the asphalt, and it is going to be a sprint finish. Bridle tucks in behind Schurter. He won't be able to see him. Bridle stands on the pedals. Schurter has to dig deep. He's led this pair the whole way round. Has he got enough in the tank to get the job done? Luca Bridle clicks through the gears and moves past Nino Schurter. Luca Bridle mugs Nino Schurter at the line for a hard-fought 3rd place. Schurter rolls home in 4th place. He dug so deep over that last lap, Nino Schurter. Luca Bridle timed that sprint absolutely perfectly. Meanwhile, look at this last spot on the podium, going to Julian Schelp. Fairy tale stuff for the German rider, who now starts hammering the refresh button on his inbox, waiting for that call up to Paris 2024. Behind him, the Dare Colodani. Superb ride for the Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team rider. The 2nd German home is Lucas Schwarzbauer in 7th place. Lars Forster, the Swiss rider, gets a superb reception after that heavy impact in the Timber Garden. Meanwhile, there's a sprint on between Saru and Filippo Colombo. Saru versus Colombo as they head to the line. Jordan Saru gets 9th place, just ahead of Filippo Colombo in 10th. The top 10 coming by 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Meanwhile, behind them, Pierre de Foimont comes home in 11th, another Swiss rider. On your screen now, Lucas Schatti makes it home in 12th. David List for Lexware, home in 13th. Geoffrey Kalel is hampered by that wheel change, is home in 14th. Filippo Fontana, 15th place for him today, comfortably inside the top 20. There's Charlie Aldridge in 16th. The best of the Cannondale Factory racing riders. And here is how Tom Pidcock notched that win. Ineos Grenadiers' hearts were in their mouths, I'm sure, but he crashed in the tech zone. Got it together though, had another one out on course. Hard enough tip over that. None of it could affect his rhythm though. Tom Pidcock. Absolutely peerless. Let's hear from the man himself. Tom Pidcock is down there at the finish line with Josh Carlson.
Tom Pidcock, what a double. That was an exceptional display of power and precision. Talk us through it from your perspective.
Yeah, I think the start was a bit better, but it was just really tricky in the first few laps just to get and find my own rhythm. I think, you know, we were just kind of getting each other's way and making each other make mistakes, and it was a bit frustrating really. And then I got my gap and my own rhythm, and then I tried to relax, and then I made a few, like 2-3 mistakes on that lap when I crashed. And I was like, right, okay, you need to start concentrating now. There's some big things coming up. You can't throw it all in the bin today. So yeah, I don't think my team or my teammates will be very happy if I bin myself today.
That was pretty exceptional. Did you actually calm down once you got into the lead, or did you put that big effort in to make sure you could be calm in the last lap?
Yeah, it's really difficult to really go super deep here. I mean, of course you can go deep and lose concentration, but because you need to save yourself for the tricky uphills and things that you get to use your whole body. So yeah, it's not like a road climb where you can just whack it up. You know, in the mud you have to concentrate and balance, and so it's more of a sustained thing really, because you're also on the downhills. You know,
your skills were exceptional today. How much did you actually enjoy those muddy conditions amongst the carnage?
Yeah, I think it was also the first few laps where I think I was taking the A-line on the big drop. But maybe it was actually slower, but I just felt a bit more comfortable. It felt a bit smoother, and then on the first lap I realised that the A-line on the waterfall was slower, and then I sent myself into it on the next lap, and it was yeah, that's quite a skid board down that wood. So yeah, it was. I was learning as I was going. I think it shows kind of, you know, we're not in a full factory team where you got people going around checking the course, or Pauline's not here racing. It's kind of going a bit blind, but no, it was good fun.
It was exceptional. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tom Pidcock, as Josh said, exceptional today. Superb ride from the British star. Tom Pidcock heads the Tour de France with a win at the UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup in Crans-Montana. Head of Flukiger, Brido, Schurter, Shelb, Colodani, Schwarzbar, Forster, Saru and Colombo. Finished to Foimont, Shati, List, Kaleli, Stapp, Fontana, Aldridge, Rug, Zanotti, Frischnecht, Haverly in the top 20. Martin Vidari recovered to 23rd, ahead of Guarini. Well, one man who had a superb time out on course today, right when it mattered, is the man on your screen now. Thomas Maxson, Swiss Racing's veteran. Matthias Flukiger, he is down there with Josh now. Let's hear what he has to say.
Matthias Flukiger, that's a bit more like it. What a performance today.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy, I have to say. Yeah, you know, the first few races wasn't so easy for me. A lot of pressure. And today, I would say there was the release, and that feels pretty awesome. The first race this season, I had a good feeling, and yeah, when you have a good feeling and if you have fun, so then, yeah, it's more and more the results are coming, and wow, I'm so happy for this one today.
When conditions get tough and treacherous, you seem to shine. What do you enjoy most about these hard, difficult races?
Yeah, you know, you have to ride really with intuition. I mean, the lines are changing from lap to lap, and it was really sticky in the first few laps and different in the end of the race. So you have to adapt, and yeah. But you know, from the past, I really like these conditions when it's a little bit wild and yeah, longer descents and longer climbs, and that's the kind of race I really like.
It's great to see you. Welcome back. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Matthias Flukiger. What a ride today. What a ride as well from Luca Braido. Another third place, another podium. The Italian heading back towards his very best, right on cue for the middle of this summer. Santa Cruz RockShox Pro Team having a good weekend here in Crans-Montana. Let's hear it from the big Italian himself. He's down there now.
Luca Braido, the good form continues and an exceptional way to finish this race here in Crans-Montana.
Yeah, today was a really hard day. The course was crazy. I had a lot of effort for all the day, so yeah, I'm super happy to be able to manage the race and won the sprint with Nino. So yeah, I'm happy, really happy. The two guys in front was absolutely too fast for us, but anyway, I'm in good feeling and super happy about my race.
Fantastic, congratulations.
Thank you.
Luca Braido, happy with his day's work. Here's a lap comparison graphics then. As you can see, Pidcock and Flukiger really did some damage on lap 2. Braido and Schurter in that sprint finish, lap 7, their joint quickest laps. But you can see laps 2, 3, 4, 5, really that core part of the damage that Tom Pidcock did to the pack behind him. Just kept it up, kept going. Here is how the overall standings look then. Nino Schurter takes control of the overall points leader's jersey, heading towards his 10th overall title. Alan Haverly second, Colombo third, Koretsky fourth, Saru in 5th. Koretsky all the way down to 4th, missing this round due to that rib injury. Martin Vidari in 11th, Braido up into 12th now. Thomas Litcher 24th ahead of Martins Blooms, not racing the day as well, so paying the price. Matti Cesaro up inside the top 30. Carter Woods 43rd, just ahead of Cameron Orr. The Villiers Vittoria factory team. Luca Shatti up inside the top 50 now after that decent haul of points today. One of his career best performances. And that noise can only be one thing. Just as I suspected, it's the Alpine horns. A bit of sunshine here in Crans-Montana as we get ready for the elite men's podium. You don't practice playing one of those in your spare room. And we're nearly ready to go with the elite men's podium. After a superb weekend of racing here in Crom, Montana. 250th UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup. It's the 82nd different venue to have hosted a UCI Cross Country World Cup.
Elite men's race here in Crom, Montana, Switzerland, presenting the awards.
As the herding of the cats continues. Series got underway in 1991, so 82 different venues. A decent amount.
In the fifth place today, from the start and goal,
Julian Schell. Has won himself a lot of fans this weekend.
The man, the dream. 2 races, 2 podiums.
On the podium in the short track, on the podium in the cross country Olympic. For stop go, Mardiver.
In the 4th place, from Scotland, MTV Racing Team, Milo Schuster.
There you go, 2 of the greats exchanging words. Nino Schurter accompanied on the podium by his daughter. Great to see.
With family bringing into the podium once again at home in Switzerland. Place where he took the overall all-time lead, Milo Schuster. In 3rd place, from the Santa Cruz Rock Sharks Pro Team, it is Luca
Braido, the man who out-sprinted Schurter to the finish line. 3rd spot today for the big Italian from Santa Cruz Rock Sharks Pro Team. Team really on the rise. Back where they belong, on the podium yet again.
In the 2nd place, despite that Platz,
Talking about being back where you belong, this one will feel good. Matthias Flukiger. 2nd place today. Big ride from Flukiger. Sent a clear message if it needed sending. This, I can confirm, is a first. Tom Pidcock escorted onto the podium by his 2 dogs, both of whom are wearing UCI World Champions jerseys.
Olympic title, you have the answer, my friends.
It's a strange sport in many ways. Tom Pidcock Absolutely brilliant today. The dogs are just retrieved from the podium. And then we can get on with the official photography. Sets himself up for the Tour de France. Absolutely perfectly. A win's a win. Tom Pidcock. Peerless today. Flukiger second, Brido third, Schurter fourth, and Shell fifth. Stories left, right, and centre on that podium. And we're going to have a week off to digest them before battle recommences in Ligier. Montana delivered. Absolutely superb set of races on its UCI World Cup debut. The weather did its best, but you can't stop a cross-country race in Switzerland. Yet again, the bar's been shifted for the level of technicality in cross-country racing. There is Nino Schurter, still one of the all-time greats of cycling, still fighting for wins. Number 37 mightn't be that far away. 10 UCI World Champions titles, 9 overall titles, and he's just taken control of this one. Homing in on double figures in the overalls, Nino Schurter.
So, holding on to the way here. Battling to the finale, and then the collision once again.
And guess what? Come Ligier, he's going to be back in the red and white of the overall points leader. Didn't get the win at his home round, but leaves with the overall points leader's jersey. I'm sure Nino Schurter will be happy enough with that one. Finally a bit of heat and a bit of sunshine out there. Fans already making their way down from the course into the bars and restaurants of Crans-Montana, of which there are plenty. A beautiful part of the world when the sun's out. Well worth bringing your mountain bike to as well. Some of the best trails you'll ever ride. Let's hear now though from Julian Shelb.
Julian, an exceptional weekend and an amazing weekend for you to perform. How good did that feel today?
Yeah, it feels amazing. It's the last race for the qualification and do the best race on point. That's perfect. Before the start, I said I give it all, give it a try, everything I have, and I did. And yeah, I'm super happy with the outcome and the result.
Such a hard and physical race. What was going through your mind in the last laps?
On the last lap, not so much. In the first laps, I just tried to keep the first position. And then, yeah, we had quite a good get, the top 5, and I hold it to the finish. Yeah, Nino and Luca were a bit too strong in the final. But yeah, it is okay with a 5th place.
Fifth place is amazing amongst some incredible company. Congratulations today.
I didn't hear.
Congratulations today.
Thank you very much.
Julian Schell really enjoying himself out there. Tough conditions, but he's a tough guy. And has he just booked himself a spot? Paris 2024. There wasn't much more he could do today to strengthen his case. Teams podiums underway then. The elite women's category. Live Factory Racing, rule the roost. Up on the top step. Led by their Swiss rider, Linda Indergan. Jen Jackson's on there as well. Ronja Blurtlinger. It's time now to hear from the GOAT. Nino Schurter is down there with Josh now. Let's hear from him.
Nino Schurter, racing at home in Switzerland is always an incredible experience, and today was a tough-fought battle. How was that out there?
Yeah, it was a tough one. Yeah, it was challenging conditions, challenging track. But yeah, quite happy with my fourth place. Didn't have the best feeling coming into this weekend. Was still a bit tired from last weekend, and yeah, also struggled with the conditions. So super happy with that fourth place, and it was nice to see the Swiss friends. Yeah.
You had a bit of an excursion over the fence at one stage. Are you okay from that? And how did you recover from that moment?
Yeah, I'm all good. But yeah, I had one lap where I crashed, I think, 3 times, and yeah, struggled a bit with conditions. It's not my favorite when it's that slippery and wet, and you need yeah, find the lines and stuff. But yeah, luckily I didn't hurt myself, and I'm glad I got through. Yeah.
And you walking away with the leader's jersey, how does that feel coming into a very important block of racing?
Yeah, that feels really, really great. After the first World Cup in Mariupol, I didn't have the feeling I still can get an overall lead. But yeah, it's really nice. I'm super happy to be back in the jersey. Yeah.
Incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.